So I've been asked many times over, especially when Madden first comes out, what do I focus on? How do I get better? What are some things to keep in mind as I practice? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 things to get better at Madden. And these are mindset things. These are things that you should have on your agenda that you're focusing on as you're practicing and learning the game of Madden 19. So the first thing that you have to do in Madden is figure out how to pass the ball. Focus on how the QB throws the ball, where and how to lead the ball on certain routes, depending on where the DB is on the field. And also look into certain route combinations, because certain route combinations will pull zones into certain areas and allow for receivers to get open. Become familiar with all of these different types of zones and be able to read them very quickly as you move forward in the game of Madden. Also, when you come up with pass plays, you want to make sure that not only they beat very specific defenses, but that you have pass plays that you can come out in that will beat any defense as long as you make the right read. So the second way to get good at Madden is to figure out how to stop the most effective routes and route combinations. Now this goes into step one. Once you realize the route combinations, how to throw routes, and the different types of route combinations that are effective in Madden, you can then begin to tailor your defense to slow these down. Now, when playing a good Madden player, you're not always going to be able to get stops. You're going to have to bait them into bad decisions, and you're going to have to call plays that slow an offense down and force someone to throw the short ball where you can come down, make a hit stick, make a play, make a tackle. So keep all these in mind when constructing your defense. The next thing you need to do, number 3, is learn how to run the ball. Practice all of your runs against different types of fronts, learn how to block them, and motion in this game with blocking is key. Once you understand how the offensive line is programmed and how they manage to block each particular front based off the alignment, you're going to be able to run the ball rather effectively, but it takes time in this game. This is one of the more complex Maddens to learn how to run, so take your time with it and don't get discouraged, but you're going to need to learn how to do it. Once you master how to run, it's a lot easier to, number 4, learn how to effectively stop the run. If you know how the offensive line is programmed, you can put players in position to stop particular runs while using runs that you may be a little bit more weak to. When you know that your opponent is running, one tip I will give you is to control your free safety. It allows you to come down and add an extra player to the box if needed. Number 5, one of the most important things is to learn how to finish drives. You have to have plays in the red zone. The field shrinks down, and the amount of plays that you can call from about the 12 to 15 yard line in vastly changes. Make sure that you're aware of this and that you have plays on deck that you can go to ensure that you're getting the ball into the end zone. Number 6, know your personnel. On defense, wait for the offense to choose their play. Once they do, pick a defensive package that you feel comfortable with in both stopping the run and stopping the pass. Keep in mind that a good player, when they see you in some type of flabogus defense and you can't stop the run because you're in quarters and they're in some type of twin tight end set or a 6 down lineman set, 5 linemen and 1 tight end, they may just run no huddle and just keep pounding the ball in your face. Avoid those situations, avoid having to call a timeout, come out in something that matches the personnel of the offense and you're going to be better off. Number 7, know your downs and distances. Certain defenses will work best in each particular situation. Know what your opponent wants to do. Understand that taking a risk and covering down low is also going to open you up over top. So if someone is 3rd and 3 from the 48, keep in mind that they may throw a bomb over your head if you pull all of your coverage down. And this leads me to number 8, risk management. Understand that Madden is a finicky game. There's often things that happen in the game that are beyond your control. Your quarterback overthrows the ball right to the defender. Why? Nobody knows. We don't know. But he does that frequently sometimes in games of Madden, and you have to be aware of that. Try to take calculated risks. Taking minimal risk pulls the control of the winner of the match from the actual AI and computer and puts it more in your hands. Now you need to find a balance of risk versus reward. When you minimize risk in the game of Madden, it allows for you to dictate what happens in the game. Putting yourself in risky situations, throwing in the coverage, throwing the ball when not needed, when you could just run the ball against the front, and just taking unneeded risks oftentimes allows the game to dictate the winner. Now you need to strike a balance here of risk versus reward. You don't want to play too conservative, because if you do, your opponent's going to understand that you're always taking the conservative route, and they're going to hone in on that. So striking that good balance of risk versus reward is crucial in Madden. Number 9, who will you user, especially on defense? Make sure you get your stick right. Depending on the down and distance, it may dictate who you user on defense. If you think that your opponent's going to run, you may play the free safety. It allows you to bring that extra player into the box. If you think your opponent's going to pass and you want to keep the deep shell intact, you may play the linebacker over the middle. Also, the person that you user on defense is going to be dictated by the play that you call. Understand the play that you call, know where the weaknesses are, and be prepared to cover those weaknesses with your user. And number 10, learn how to adjust. This comes over time, but the best players in Madden are the players that can quickly adjust to their opponent. Keep in mind the looks that your opponent is giving you. Try to key in on different types of tells. Also, make sure that you're adjusting on defense and manually putting people in different coverages in order to confuse your opponent. If you come out in stock defenses, I'm telling you right now, any good Madden player is going to shred that to death. Now we're going to throw another one in, number 11, and this one is crucially important, so I wanted to add this in. And 11 just seemed like a weird title for a video, but we're going to give you 11 tips, and that 11th tip is to make sure that you keep your composure. Like I said earlier in this video, Madden is a really finicky game. Sometimes you can make all the right calls and the game just tells you no. You run the ball to the side where they only have 2 defenders to your 5 and someone block sheds and tackles you for a loss. Sometimes your quarterback just throws the ball over your receiver's head for no reason. Sometimes you just fumble and it's not even a hit stick. Things like this happen in Madden. It's a sports game. There's always chance the AI has a big role to play in the game. So keep that in mind when you're playing Madden and don't let that discourage you. Once you start playing on tilt and you start getting overly aggressive and doing things that you shouldn't be doing, that's when you're surely going to lose. So what's more awkward than a title that says the 11 best tips to get better at Madden? How about the 12 best tips to get better at Madden? Because we're going to put one more in here and we're going to give you 12 tips. And that tip is to make sure that you're getting proper pressure on the quarterback. With blitzing comes risk. Make sure you understand these risks, know your downs and distances before you send heat at the quarterback. Blitzing also creates holes in your defense. Make sure that you're able to account for these holes by manually adjusting coverage or controlling a particular player, moving yourself in position to cover all of those holes and really get into your opponent's head while he's running around the pocket from your pressure. This is one of the best ways to play Madden, and it really helps to create bad decisions and turnovers. So that's it, the 12 best tips to get better at Madden. If you like this video, be sure to like it. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you click that bell to get notified whenever I post new content. Also, I would encourage you to put any tips that you would like to share down in the comment section below. So I want to thank you for checking in. It's Gleez signing out, and continue to game strong.